We know what we can get if we put in the work. So it's been fun putting in the work together. So it's definitely been a ball.
We'll go next to Chad Brendel.
Elijah, take me through when Coach came to you last year about the switch to the 3-3-5 and moving out to the edge, and how have you been able to take advantage of that and really jumpstart what's been a great year and a half that you've had as an edge guy?
So actually, I played on the edge in high school. So I made that transition when I came to college to go to the 3-tech. So it was a good transition, just going back out there on the edge and showing that I could be a versatile player and play from the inside to the outside, So I really believe that it helped, show, the versatility and all the things that I can do, on the D-line within this football program and myself.
To follow up, did you see some of the stuff throughout the season that had you like Pro Football Focus had you ranked as the number one edge defender in the country for a while before the injury, and how much does stuff like that motivate you?
It was a good motivation. I try not to pay too much attention to the media things and try to stay focused on, winning the championship and doing what I had to do with my teammates. So it was definitely a good feeling and good motivation, but I just made sure that I kept the same grind, the same mentality and focus, throughout this season. So
we'll go next to Keenan Singleton.
Elijah, during this time, a lot of us aren't getting a chance to go home. You get that fortunate opportunity. I know it's a business trip, but at the same time, you're going home. What does that mean to you? What kind of family is showing up for? What does this whole experience look like for you?
It's a great experience. This is the first time my family was able to really come to a game, through all what's going on and traveling and things of that nature. But it's a great feeling, especially to end off my last one at home. So it's definitely a different feeling that that's kind of unexplainable, but it's a blessing, and I'm grateful to be able to do it back at home.
Coach Freeman kind of said that he wants you guys to use whatever it takes to win this game, but he doesn't want you guys being overly emotional heading into it. So speaking about you guys that are from Georgia, do you take any extra into this game? Did Georgia recruit you at all? Kind of what was the backstory with them?
Well, no, I didn't. I necessarily wasn't recruited from Georgia or anything like that. I was getting recruited by Georgia Tech a little bit, but not Georgia. So I mean, it's I don't necessarily look at it. I don't necessarily look at it as an emotion or anything like that, but it's definitely, a good feeling, or, I'm just coming in there with, I got the same focus and same mentality as it was if it wasn't in Georgia. So I'm just, going there with the right mindset and ready to win.
Take our next question from Charles Odom with the Associated Press.
Coby, can you talk about the pride factor, both with your unit's national ranking and interceptions, and also the streak that your team has in forcing turnovers?
Yeah, we just come out and play. We have that mentality, like Elijah said, to take what's ours. So we wouldn't get the turnovers without the D linemen. So they help us a lot with the pressure and us just doing what we're supposed to do, and it just falls in our place.
We're next to Charlie Goldsmith.
Coby, how are there so many guys on your team, specifically the defense, getting NFL looks right now? How have so many guys been able to develop in that way?
It's amazing. We all bonded together on the defense. We're all one. We're all brothers. So, we're all there for each other. We all put in the work, and when you put in the work, it doesn't get unnoticed. So we're just forever grateful.
We'll go next to Justin Williams.
Coby, what do you see from Georgia on film so far, and what you guys have studied in practice in terms of what they do well?
They're pretty good. Their offense is strong. They're pretty fast. We know we set up we're going up against, and it's gonna be fun. We just have to play our ball and do what we're supposed to do, and we should come out successful.
We'll go next to Chad Brendel.
Coby, like Derek, we just talked about this a few minutes ago with Derek. You committed to this program on a pitch of blind faith, a team coming off a 4-8 record, played a lot of special teams as a freshman, but didn't really crack the regular 2 deep rotation. how much does it mean to you to see where this program has gone? And now you've got a championship, you're playing in the New Year's Six Bowl. What does all this mean to you to have brought the program back?
It's amazing. You know, we just trusted in Coach Fickle's process and just believed in him, put in the work, like I've been saying, and just all of us just coming together as one and just playing football and just, like I said, just trusting in the process. And we believed in Coach Fickle from day one, and we knew what this program could be if we just follow behind him. So we're grateful for that.
We'll go to Justin Williams.
Elijah, Coach Freeman once said that when he first got here, he wasn't sure if you would play much for this new coaching staff. I'm sure he's told you that at some point. That obviously changed quite a bit. You became an all-conference player. Mentioned one of the top-rated defensive ends in the sport. How have you been able to do that? How have you gone from a guy who they weren't totally sure about just at first glance to being a huge piece of this defense?
The way I did that was, just battle through adversity, kept the same mentality, didn't let things bring me down. I just kept working and I just kept working basically. Like I just was grinding and did what I had to do, and eventually I came on top and, overcame whatever it was that was holding me back. So that's what I had to do.
We'll go next to Chad Brendel.
Elijah, 4 years later, when I say attention training, what is that? What reaction do you have to that phrase?
Man, attention training was definitely a crazy moment. It was a lot of adversity, and it just, at the end of the day, I feel like looking back on it now, it brought us to be where we at now. So it started a culture, it started a mindset. So, I look back at it now and say I appreciate it, but at the time it was just it was hectic.
How close did it come to breaking you? Because I heard there's a lot of guys that broke.
Yeah, I definitely was waking up every day, just looking up like, dang, do I really want to do this? Like, but I kept going with it, and then eventually I got through it. So I just kept pushing. It taught me something about myself. So it was a good thing.
We'll go to Justin Williams.
Coby, your brother played for Coach Fickle, and if I'm correct, played in a couple big bowl games. How much have you been kind of keeping track of, what you've been able to accomplish in the games you've been able to play in your time here under Coach Fick?
My big brother's been a huge help. He's taught me the way. He's taught me a lot, everything I know, pretty much. We talk almost every day, and he just told me, don't worry about the atmosphere. Just play my game and just do what I do. And I know he's supporting me, and I know I'm going to be good either way. So
we'll close out this segment with a question from Marc Weiszer from the Athens Banner Herald. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Elijah, I'm curious if you know guys on Georgia's roster, being that you're from the state, and also kind of piggybacking on that, the amount of 4- and 5-star recruits they've kind of stockpiled here. Is that all that stuff thrown out the window, given how you guys have kind of, obviously shown that recruiting rankings aren't all about wins and losses?
Yes, sir. I know one. I know current. Well, I know a few of them, but I know one that's still on the roster, Julian Rochester. But as in with the 4- and 5-star things, at the end of the day, we all playing football. We all got to put the ball down and line up against each other, and we all in college. So, that's pretty much the mindset of how I look at it. High school, I feel like, the stars and all that might matter or anything, but once you get to college, the stars, everybody got to put the ball down, and that's just what it is at that point.
Joel, I just asked Elijah this, and the response was interesting, so I'll ask you as well. Hopefully no PTSD pops up, but when I say attention training, what does that trigger in your brain?
Attention training was probably one of the toughest things I've ever been through. I mean, the first day you were in like the snow/ice, everybody cut their hands up, and I remember doing push-ups in the snow and like literally blood being in the snow. And then like some people didn't feel like their fingertips for the next few months. And then the next day, we were out on the soccer field, and it was just a huge field. Everybody was throwing up. And then the next day we were out like in the middle of campus, like in the green area, and like rolling around in the mud. It was just the craziest time. And I don't know. You definitely had to evaluate if you still want to do this, you know?
Does this make all of that worth it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Take our next question from Charlie Goldsmith from the Cincinnati Enquirer. Go ahead.
Ahmad, how you doing? The stats kind of show that teams aren't throwing the ball your way as much. Do you see that as a sign of respect and a testament to the growth you've made at cornerback?
Yes, sir. I most definitely see that as respect, but, you know, I'm not going to sleep on the side. Like, I don't want them to end up coming my way when I least expect it. So I just got to stay focused, you know, take that as a level, like a high level of respect. My coach talked to me about that all the time. And, yeah, I just got to stay focused.
We're next to Justin Williams from The Athletic.
Ahmad, it's been a little bit different for you than guys like, you know, Joel and Kobe and Derek and James, some of those guys you play in the secondary who, you know, you didn't have to go through the attention training. You didn't go through the 4 and 8 seasons. What's it been like from your perspective, basically coming in and having success right away individually, but also, you know, as a team?
It's a blessing to be a part of a winning team where it's a team full of leaders, and even the people that don't play for real, they're leaders. So I'm just blessed that I chose this school, and, you know, it was a great decision. Like, I'm blessed to be where I am around the people that I'm around.
We're next to Chad Brendel.
Joel, you waited a long time to get this starting opportunity. What was this offseason like for you, knowing this was going to be your shot and that you were going to have, you know, finally have that chance to make your name for yourself with the ones?
I just think God's put me in an amazing position to be able to be a starting linebacker for a team of this caliber. And I think it's just continue to do what I've been doing, prepare like I'm the starter, even though now I am, just prepare my butt off and do the best I can for the team, you know.
We're next to Justin Williams.
Joel, what about just collectively? You know, I'm sure you heard there were just some unknowns about that linebacker unit, losing Perry and B. Wright coming into this season. Seeing how you and Darian and Jarrell have played, how much pride do you take in the fact that kind of what was a question mark to start the year has turned into a strength for the defense?
Yeah, I think that I definitely got a lot of those questions, you know, leading up to the season, but I think just through the work we put in, we knew on the team that was going to be like a question mark. And I think that just made the guys in that room just prepare a little bit more and work a little bit harder to answer those questions and leave no doubt. So
We'll go next to Neil Meyer from Front Office News.
Hey, this question is for Ahmad. So you probably already saw it, Ahmad. According to PFF, your average rating once targeted is 29.3, which is lower than quarterbacks throwing into the ground per all season at 36.3% passer rating. What does that mean to you and your defensive play going into a big game like this with all the talent Georgia has on their offense?
It means a lot. Like, nothing's going to change this week. I'm going to go out there and do the same thing that I've been doing, you know. I'm a competitive guy. I want to play against the best and everything, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that means a lot that I get this opportunity to, like, showcase my talent against the SEC team, because everybody thinks, quote unquote, yeah, we're not ready because they're SEC and we're in a group of 5. But nah, like, I'm going to go out there and do the same thing that I've been doing.
We'll go next to Chad Brendel.
Ahmad, seeing second team All-American from the Associated Press, what does that mean to you? And how rewarding is it to accomplish that so early in your career?
It means a lot. It shows that, like, my talent isn't going unnoticed and everything, but like, I want to be on first team, and that's what I'm going to, like, strive to get on next year. But it means a lot. That was a real true blessing to see that.
Go next to Justin Williams.
Ahmad, you mentioned kind of the chance to prove yourself against a blue blood team in Georgia. How much have you guys talked about that? Just in general, that's kind of been the narrative outside of it, as the difference in recruiting rankings and conferences and all that kind of stuff. Internally, how much are you guys talking about that and maybe wanting to prove what you're able to do on your side of things?
It's not that we want to prove anything. Like we know we have what it takes to prove ourselves to everyone else, but that isn't our main focus. That's something that I individually want to do, prove that we have what it takes, but that's not something that like our corner room or like this team is like pressing to like achieve. Like we know we have what it takes, and that's all that matters.
We're next to Mike Griffin.
Yeah, good morning, Ahmad. Thank you. I wanted to ask you, one of the guys that Georgia has at receiver had a pretty big bowl game last year, George Pickens. I think he had 12 catches and 160 some yards. When you look at a guy like that, it seems like even when he's covered, he catches the ball. Have you gone up against anybody like that? And what do you think about number one on the Georgia football team?
I don't know if I went up against anyone like that, but I think he's a pretty good player. I'm looking forward to competing with him and the rest of the receiver group. So we'll see what happens.
We're next to Justin Williams.
Joel, I gotta ask. I know it's been a couple weeks, but can you take us through the fake punt against ECU? It's already become like stuff of lore. Talking to some of the other coaches about it, they've all put the onus on you. You're the one that made the call, so I want to hear it from your perspective.
Yeah. So going into the game, if we had a 6-man overload to like our punter's foot, then that was the check. And before the play, I went to Coach Mason and I asked him if it was still live, and he came me like an unsure because obviously we were up, and so I go out there and sure enough we get a 6-man overload, and I kind of look to the sideline and give like Coach Vic a thumbs up, and he didn't see me, or I think he saw me, but he just kept going. He didn't know what I was talking about. And so I ended up making the check, and yeah. So.
No regrets, I'm assuming?
No.
Take our next question from Anfernee Patterson.
Hey, this is for both defensive players. You kind of alluded to it, you're playing the SEC team for the most part in SEC environment. My question is, what do you think, what would it mean, first of all, if you're able to hold this Georgia defense down and get the win? And two, what would you say people need to know about the Cincinnati defense that maybe a casual football fan may not know because they're watching like other Power 5 schools instead of like AAC, Sunbelt, different schools of that sort?
The first thing is like we're tougher than I believe that we're tougher than a lot of Power 5 teams all around the country, and we work very hard, and like I feel like it would mean a lot to us, like if we was to beat Georgia, and it would put us like on the map, you know what I'm saying? Like all around the country, all the recruiters and scouts and everything, like they'll know that like we had what it took to beat that team.
Absolutely, I would agree with Ahmad that the style of football that we pride ourselves on is tough and nasty, and so being able to play that brand against a team like Georgia, and I know that the SEC is obviously known for being bigger. I think that being able to play that brand of football, offensive, defensively, and special teams wise, and then win that game would mean a lot for the Power 5 and our school just putting us on the map.
Got time for a couple more. We'll go to Chad Brendel.
Joel, you're one of the few guys remaining that was recruited in by the previous staff. Have you guys all like talked about sticking around through that and sticking it out and what it's meant to you guys to be a part of this now, to be champions?
I mean, I haven't talked to it like individually with some guys, but I know like on the team, like we've talked about it. Just especially from like our first season, even so. I mean, the culture was so different with Tuberville, and I think having this new coaching staff obviously is like a great choice. But it was just like a complete 180 turn, and it's been a huge blessing for me. And I'm just extremely thankful for it and blessed to be in this position.
We'll close things out with Justin Williams from The Athletic. Go ahead.
Joel, kind of on that same topic, you know, you've had Coach Freeman as your position coach and defensive coordinator for all 4 years. How have you, we talked to him about how he deals with some of the attention he's gotten and even job interest he's gotten, you know, the past couple of years as the team has had success. How have you seen him kind of grow and change as a coach and position coach and coordinator during your time with him?
Yeah, I'd say from the aspect of, I mean, after 4 years, you get like to know somebody really well. And I think that is the aspect that has grown the most. I mean, he hasn't stopped at all, or even Preston even more to like push the guys in this group and me and or even everybody on the defense. But I'm just thankful that he's stuck it out this long. You know, every year it's like, oh my gosh, is he gonna leave type thing. But yeah, so I think even with the having like different, gosh, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But like there's more back and forth than him just like screaming at you. Well, he doesn't scream, but there's more back and forth, and he's able to piggyback off of you and see what you're thinking in the situation rather than just getting on you for something.